for real. Like, I'm not even playing with you. I don't even like kids.
I'm so ugly. What?
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. You are so pretty. You all up. Go in the room. When you look at yourself, you supposed to say, I'm so pretty. You are so pretty. Do you hear me? You got the prettiest little dimples. You are too cute. Oh. Ariana, you gonna make me cry. You're not ugly. Baby girl. Oh my God. Ariana. You're not ugly. Baby girl. You are so pretty. You are like, you have this beautiful chocolate skin. Like, you are just so gorgeous. You got these dimples.
She didn't even think it was that bad. What she said, she didn't think that what she said was that bad. Because she didn't realize that, I'm ugly. She just said that like that. She started feeling some type of way because the lady that's there that's braiding her hair she had a reaction.
And kids are very sensitive to people's emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and it's not so much that I didn't mean to do something bad. I did something bad. I didn't mean to do something bad. And now you're having a reaction. I did that and then it's all that. That's what happened. But at first, she was just saying that like that. There wouldn't be one tear or nothing like that because she's used to that. She's been feeling like that for a while now.
You know what else?
No, you're not gonna cry. You are a beautiful little girl and you are pretty. You are the prettiest girl in your class. Boom. Tell them straight up. When you go to school tomorrow, you got your hair done. You're gonna be like, oh, look at my hair. Oh, look at my shoes. Look at my clothes, baby girl. You are beautiful. Black is beautiful. And if don't nobody ever tell you, I will tell you, you are gorgeous. You are so pretty. And you're going to grow up and you're going to be everything that you can be. You're going to be the greatest nail tech, the greatest beautician, the greatest lawyer, the greatest doctor, the greatest teacher, whatever you want to be, the greatest speaker, the greatest entrepreneur, whatever. What you want to be? What you want to be when you get older?
Oh, the teacher.
You want to be? Your teacher mean to you? So guess what? When you become a teacher, you don't be mean. You be a nice teacher. You gonna be Miss Cotton. That's what they gonna call you. You hold your head up. You hold your head up. Okay? Okay? Can I have a hug? I love you. Girl, you just almost made me cry on live. Turn this way. Girl, you just almost made me cry, Ariana. You can't be doing stuff like that. You gotta warn me. Baby, you just said that like a grown woman that's going through things. Woo. God, in the name of Jesus.
I understand why she would say something like that.
What do you mean?
I was that little girl back when I was a kid. I remember one day, I was feeling how I was feeling because of certain events and whatnot. I was sitting on my bed. My dad passed right by my door and he's like, yo, what is this? And like right in front of my bed, there was a wall and I wrote with duct tape, you are ugly. And that's the first thing I used to see when I used to wake up in the morning. You are ugly. I used to see that. I wrote that. That's how I felt. That's the truth. That's the truth to me, so it was what it was.
It's pretty creative, though. I'm not gonna lie.
It is.
With duct tape? I mean, you could use the mark or anything like that, but you also know
because I don't want to get my ass whooped.
That's right. I mean? That's why I said it's creative. So you still got it on the wall.
I'm not stupid. I'm ugly.
That's the first thing that wasn't like duct tape, nigga. But why? You be like, but I get no beating though.
Hey, yeah. You remove that. There's no problem. You know what I mean? I said I was ugly, not stupid. I'm not gonna fit in to get my ass whooped because of some feelings I feel.
I feel you. I mean,
that I ain't trying to get my ass whooped. I already feel ugly. Now I get ass beating me because I feel that way. Nuh-uh. Yeah. So I just wrote that shit. You're ugly. My dad was like, yo, what is this? Like, something I wrote. And he's like, started to have a conversation with me, and I was grateful with that because my parents always had conversations with me. My dad was like, "Yo, you have to be really careful with the words. The words, they mean something. They really mean something. Like, you can't wake up and see words like that. You're gonna go into a spiral, and you're gonna spiral down. There's a lot of complicated things that I cannot tell you right now because you're not old enough, but nah, that's not really the good way about going things. If you feel things like that, you should come see me, your sister, or your mom, or whatever you need to talk about it. But I'm gonna ask you to remove that. Just take it off." And you watch me take it off, make sure I took it off, and I took it off. But at some point, when I was growing up, it was like that. I always say that, I used to grow up, I was an ugly kid. It's not so much that I was ugly or not. I was up not the standards. I was not what it was. Even if she sees black people around her, but the black people, they got what? They got the hair extensions, they got blonde color in their eyes and stuff like that. She doesn't have those features.
Well, there's a study that they did where they asked, like, toddlers what they thought was beautiful between a black and a white princess.
Yeah.
And all the kids chose the white one because even at their age, they'd internalize blackness.
What is mean, what is ugly, they know what that dark is bad and good. That's called, I think it's a doll experiment or something like that.
Yeah. And it's been replicated a few times. I mean, I'll post a link to it. I'd seen that a long time ago, so I'm not sure if it still stands, but I probably believe it does. Why did you grow up thinking that you were unattractive?
Man, listen, I live in a white country, in a white province, in a white neighborhood, in a white everything. And the standards was not black. It was not. So by definition, I was not the standard. So I was not pretty. Motherfuckers that looked like me was rejecting me. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm talking guys and girls, to be friends or not. The guys, they thought I was too white. And the girls, they think I was not manly enough. I was not enough of anything. I was never enough. So I get that. It's just that at some point, past the phase when you want to delete yourself, because there was a point where it was like that for numerous reasons, I came in this other opposite that I appropriated my ugliness. That's who I am. That's who I am. And I can't change nothing about that. So I went a different route. You know what I mean? But I understand that little girl. And the thing that happened is that she's 4. The problem solving aspect of your brain is not that developed. It's not there. It's not fully grown. You know what I mean? So what happened is that your solution is not as violent as whenever we think death is. You know what I mean? That's not what it is. For a kid that does that to themselves, that deletes themselves, that self-delete, it's not as violent. What they see and what they understand, I know that because I've been there. What they understand is this. They understand basic math. If I have me and I'm the problem, and I have this society, if I remove myself from the equation, no problem. I don't fit nowhere, so there's no problem. To them, it's just the easiest way to solve a solution. If it doesn't work, you take it out. They just do what they do because they just want to stop hurting. Is this how life is, really? And they just do what they do. I'm not even advocating for that, and there's other solutions. But I do understand where they're coming from.
You know what else dawned on me when I was watching this? That she kept looking towards the phone, knowing it was being live streamed. Like, she's keenly aware that people are observing her and it matters to her. So even as the woman was giving her a pep talk and being like, "You're beautiful," I kept seeing her trying to look back at the phone to see what the people were saying. Does that make
because
sense?
You're getting schooled in front of people. You're like, when you're getting your beat, sometimes, my aunts, they used to come to my house and I did something bad, and that would not stop
the beating.
My mom from beating my ass in front of her sister.
And look, this is in no way us trying to say that we necessarily understand completely what it's like to be a black woman or anything like that. That being said, I think whenever anyone's watching something, they try to internalize it through their own experiences. And that's how they try to create an empathetic bond. And so we as men may not live the same experience, but we're going to try to draw on our own experiences of being told we're unattractive and ugly to try to relate and to try to understand. It's just important to note that experience is never necessarily a substitute for another person's trajectory in life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. But you know why she said she was ugly? She was looking at the camera? Because she didn't want to get necessarily filmed. She's like, "Yo, you filming me while I'm there? I'm ugly. Why are you filming me?" Like, that's what I understand.
That's what you took it as?
Because when she said I'm ugly, she was looking directly at the camera.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing this? Why are you filming me? Why are you putting me on the spot? I'm ugly.
Right. Another thing that stood out to me is when she mentioned that her teacher was mean.
What you want to be? What you want to be when you get older?
The teacher.
You want to be... Your teacher mean to you?
Oftentimes, it's really the adults around you and the people around you that really inform your opinion of yourself when you're a child. I informed my opinion of me based off of the people around me when I was a kid. My rejections, everyone kind of avoiding me. So it's just telling to me that she has that same experience.
Listen,
Go ahead.
I said that to you already, man. When I was a kid, I was bullied, but the people that bullied me the most were my teachers.
Yeah, that's the worst part, though. Like, I don't think they recognize sometimes how heavily they impact people and how selfish, which is why, like, a good teacher can change your life and a bad teacher can ruin it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A bad teacher can mess it up. Shout out to Collège Français de Longueuil. I see you, motherfucker. It was just bad. So, yeah, it can make you, it can break you. Teachers do have an important, like...
role.
Yeah, it's like you see a lot of your parents and then you see a lot of your teachers the whole year.
Yeah.
It's a vocation. It's not a jobby job. You don't become a teacher because it's your third pick. And if you do, geez.
Probably shouldn't be there. I always tell this, like, I had multiple successive bad teachers, but I remember I had one that really turned it around for me. And I just remember them being like, bruv, I see you sleep in my class all the time, but you're far more intelligent than you let on. Just pay the attention because you have the potential, right? And I remember that always stuck with me. And I didn't realize to what point until I was probably in my early 20s and I was thinking about what I wanted to do after the military. And part of me all of a sudden wanted to become a teacher, more particularly a history teacher. I'm like, why do I want to teach history? I mean, I love history, but not that much. And then it dawned on me, the person that really affected me was a history teacher. I wanted to do for other kids what I felt like that teacher had done for me. And I think that always stuck with me. So I always said, if I wasn't doing this stuff and I was going back to school, it would be to teach.
Like, I could name the dope teachers that I had.
Yes. Yeah, you remember
I
them.
remember
They marked
them.
you like that.
Yeah,
Same here.
absolutely.
I can definitely say that. And I think the last thing I wanted to touch on was, you know, when you're watching this, you might understand, like, oh, I've been told I'm ugly. I think for black people, and maybe other groups as well, this video kind of highlights why representation matters, because oftentimes, you know, your environment can tell you you're ugly and that's one thing, but when all the images that you see, your favorite cartoons, everything that you're watching on television is also reinforcing that idea, it's hard to get away from it. That's why, even though I personally didn't like Black Panther, I understood why it was so important for a lot of African Americans and black people in general, because they really appreciated just seeing themselves in a different light. That's why
being a hero.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's even like, you know, men, when we see fathers in a lot of movies and there's always like some adulty like, oh, I don't know how to take care of the kids. Where do I get the diapers, right? It gets annoying to see that representation because it starts to affect you. You just...
And then you saw Uncle Phil rule someone?
Right. Right? And so when you hear a healthy representation of fatherhood, it makes you appreciative. The same token, black people just seeing themselves in a positive light, we feel some type of way oftentimes. I mean, even me, the other day, I remember I was watching Burna Boy win his Grammy Award. And as an African, even though I'm not Nigerian, it did make me feel pleasure seeing African music highlighted in that way. I'm like, oh, even, you know, on that level.
It feels good.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that's my victory. That being said, it does. I hope it just inks in the mind of people the possibility. You know, the more you see yourself in that position, the more likely, if you can visualize it, you're more likely to get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a bit when people come and see us and say that to us too. They see something that we don't necessarily see.
Yeah.
Like, they see something else. And I'm like, oh.
I'm glad we could do that for you.
I'm happy that to bring you that joy, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that, little girl. I get all of that. I got it.
That's pretty much it for today's video. Moral of the story is, if you think you're ugly, just write it on your wall with Scotch tape. Okay, don't use markers.
No, because you won't get your ass whooped.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. We want to hear your comments and thoughts below. What do you think about this video, your experience with your self-esteem? We want to hear all about that. So that's it.
Two dimples. I don't even have 2 dimples.
You know why this is making me laugh? Because that's the kind of shit that you try to come up with to cheer the kid up, so you be saying anything. But she's doing a good job.
Who got 2 dimples? I do.
They don't even know that your nickname is Dimples.
Yeah, my dance name was
Yeah,
Dimples.
yeah, his dancer name is Dimples.
'cause I got
People don't know
dimples.
that. So based off like what name you use, that's where he knows you from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got different names from different places.
Yeah.
And if you call me on the street and you call me by a certain name, I'm like, I know that person from that thing.
Yeah.
I know that person from that thing. I know that person from that circle.
Yeah. All right, I'll just keep playing. I don't want to comment on the subject yet.